Ahoy there, adventure seekers and story treasure hunters. Welcome aboard, Insightful Jan, your trusty map to navigating the vast seas of comic book adventures. I'm your captain, and today we set sail in search of the top 25 best-selling adventure comics that have been flying off the shelves. But fear not, my intrepid explorers. This isn't your usual X marks the spot. Our treasure trove is a cornucopia of stories, each more gripping than the last, and ranked in no particular order because, let's face it, every adventure is unique. And for those of you venturing into this world for the first time, we've got a compass rose of comparisons to guide you. Love Indiana Jones? Then this comic, Uncharted, will have you dodging booby traps and deciphering ancient runes before you can say Holy Grail. We'll trek through jungles, soar over lost cities, and dive into the deepest dungeons. Each title comes with its own thrilling escapade, akin to those blockbuster hits you've watched a dozen times from the edge of your seat. So whether you're a seasoned pathfinder in the world of panels and speech bubbles, or you're just dusting off your first comic book, this list has something to ignite the spark of adventure in your heart. Prepare to embark on a journey through time and imagination, where heroes are born, legends are made, and the impossible becomes the everyday. If you've got a penchant for adventure and a love for tales that whisk you away to realms unknown, then you, my friend, have just found your new favorite chapter. So, cinch up your seatbelts, adjust your monocles, and let's leap into the pages of adventure. And remember, in the world of comics, the journey is just as spectacular as the destination. Ready? Set? Adventure awaits. Let's crack open the cover with our first epic tale. Entering at 25. Blackhawk DC Comics. Blackhawk is a DC Comics series that follows the thrilling wartime exploits of an elite group of pilots during World War II. The Blackhawks, as they are known, are a small multinational group, each member a master of combat flying and fighting. Created by Chuck Quittera with input from Bob Powell and Will Eisner, the team first appeared in Military Comics #1 in 1941. The narrative is set against the backdrop of the global conflict, where these heroes engage in dogfights with enemy aircraft, sabotage Axis plans, and confront a variety of superpowered foes and wartime threats. Each character brings their own unique background, providing a rich tapestry of stories that delve into themes of bravery, sacrifice, and camaraderie. The leader of the squadron is the enigmatic Blackhawk, whose real name and nationality remain a mystery for much of the series, giving him an air of intrigue. The Blackhawk Squadron operates from a hidden base known as Blackhawk Island, located somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. From here, they launch their daring missions using their signature aircraft, the Grumman XF-5F Skyrocket. Over time, the series incorporated more fantastical elements, including advanced technology and strange villains, but it always remained grounded in the heroism and dynamics of the squadron members. At 24. Uncharted DC Comics. Uncharted is a DC Comics title that expands the universe of the acclaimed video game series, putting readers into the thrilling world of the charismatic treasure hunter, Nathan Drake. This comic series draws its essence from the video game's combination of high-stakes adventure, historical mysteries, and the roguish charm of its protagonist. The story follows Nathan Drake as he embarks on dangerous quests around the globe, often seeking treasures tied to ancient civilizations and lore. Drake is not only a skilled physical adventurer, but also a sharp-minded historian who can decipher clues that have baffled others. His quests often lead to remote ruins, untamed jungles, and hidden cities, with each storyline being a race against rival treasure hunters, mercenaries, or even supernatural forces. Drake's charm is in his wit, resourcefulness, and the propensity to get into trouble as much as his ability to get out of it. Alongside allies such as the grizzled and loyal Victor Sullivan, Drake's journeys are as much about the treasure as they are about the personal challenge and the thrill of the unknown. Number 23. Northlanders Vertigo in DC Comics. Northlanders is a gripping comic book series published under DC Comics' Vertigo imprint, created by Brian Wood. This series isn't a continuous narrative, but rather a collection of stories set during the Viking Age, ranging from roughly 793 to 1066 AD. The stories, while fictional, are steeped in historical details and depict the lives, cultures, and conflicts of the Northlanders, the Norse and Viking people of the time. The series is known for its gritty realism and its exploration of the harshness of life in the Viking era. It delves into various aspects of Viking society, from famous raids and battles to the more personal and intimate struggles of the individuals within those societies. Brian Wood's storytelling is nuanced as he humanizes these often mythologized figures, showing both their brutality and their capacity for love, honor, and sacrifice. Northlanders is characterized by its varied narrative structure, sometimes focusing on a lone character's journey, other times on a family or a community, and occasionally on historical figures. It tackles themes such as survival, the clash of cultures, the pursuit of power, and the struggle against the harsh natural environment. At 22, Usagi Yojimbo, Dark Horse Comics and IDW Publishing. Usagi Yojimbo is a celebrated comic book series created by Stan Sakai, telling the story of Miyamoto Usagi, a Ronin, masterless samurai, rabbit navigating a unique version of feudal Japan. The series is deeply rooted in Japanese culture and mythology, blending historical samurai drama with anthropomorphic characters. Usagi Yojimbo, which translates to Rabbit Bodyguard, follows the wandering Usagi as he follows the warrior's path of Bushido. The narrative is episodic, with Usagi encountering a variety of characters including other Ronin, peasants, lords, and even supernatural beings. While many stories are standalone, some are serialized and explore larger arcs involving political intrigue, personal honor, and Usagi's complex history. What sets Usagi Yojimbo apart is its commitment to cultural authenticity, educational storytelling, and the exploration of themes such as loyalty, friendship, and the nature of violence. Sakai's meticulous research into the Edo period provides a backdrop that's both fantastical and historically engaging, and the series is known for its skillful black and white artwork that complements the narrative's tone and setting. Number 21. Lady Mechanika Benitez Productions. Lady Mechanika is a visually stunning steampunk comic series created by Joe Benitez, set in a richly imagined Victorian-era world where science and the supernatural merge in extraordinary ways. The series follows the titular character, Lady Mechanika, a skilled private investigator with mechanical limbs which are the result of secret experiments that have left her with no memory of her past. The story begins with Lady Mechanika's quest to uncover the truth about her origins and the mysterious mechanical enhancements that give her superhuman abilities. She is a unique blend of strength and ingenuity, combining human intuition with mechanical precision. Throughout the series, she encounters a diverse cast of characters, from other mechanically enhanced beings to shadowy villains and occultists, all beautifully rendered in a detailed steampunk aesthetic. As she delves deeper into her own backstory, Lady Mechanika also takes on cases that lead her into adventures involving magic, monsters, and high-flying escapades. The themes of identity, humanity, and the search for belonging are central to the narrative, as Lady Mechanika navigates a society marked by the tension between technological progress and traditional values. Number 20. Green Arrow, The Longbow Hunters DC Comics. Green Arrow, The Longbow Hunters is a landmark limited series by Mike Grell that redefined the character of Green Arrow/Oliver Queen for a new era. Published by DC Comics, this series presents a more mature, gritty narrative that strips away the more fantastic elements traditionally associated with superhero comics in favor of a realistic, street-level approach. The story is set in Seattle, where Oliver Queen has moved with his partner, Dinah Lance, also known as Black Canary. Queen is no longer the wisecracking hero of old, but a more somber and contemplative figure, reflective of his middle age and the changing times. The Longbow Hunters saga sees Green Arrow abandoning his traditional trick arrows for real ones, symbolizing a darker tone and a more visceral approach to crime fighting. The plot involves Green Arrow tracking down a serial killer known as the Seattle Slasher, but the narrative quickly spirals into a complex web of drug trafficking, political intrigue, and international espionage. This brings him into conflict with Shadow, a mysterious archer with her own agenda and a code of honor that both clashes with and mirrors Oliver's. Green Arrow, The Longbow Hunters is notable for its human drama, intense action sequences, and moral ambiguity. Presenting Oliver Queen as a deeply flawed but ultimately heroic character determined to do what is right in a world that is far from black and white. Position 19. Sea of Red, Image Comics. Sea of Red, by Rick Remender, is a unique blend of horror and adventure, masterfully combining the lore of pirates with the dark mythos of vampires. The comic is set against the backdrop of the high seas, where the terror isn't just from the unknown depths of the ocean, but from the undead that lurk aboard a cursed pirate ship. The story unfolds with the discovery of a centuries-old vampire pirate, Marco Esperanza, who has been trapped under the sea. Bound to the will of his vampiric curse and longing for death's release, Marco's existence is one of eternal darkness and hunger. The narrative takes off when he is eventually freed by a modern-day film crew looking to exploit his story, not knowing the true horror they've awakened. As the tale weaves through different timelines, it reveals Marco's past life during the age of exploration and piracy, his transformation into a vampire, and the eternal struggle to find a semblance of peace or finality to his cursed life. The comic's storytelling is rich with action, suspense, and the existential dread of immortality. At 18, Doc Savage, various publishers, including Marvel and Dynamite. Doc Savage is a character whose stories span a legacy that has cemented him as one of the original superheroes, inspiring many that came after. The character, also known as the Man of Bronze, first appeared in 1933 in American pulp magazines and was later adapted into various comic book series, including those by Marvel and Dynamite Entertainment. Doc Savage is Clark Savage Jr., a physician, scientist, adventurer, inventor, explorer, and researcher with outstanding physical and mental abilities. He is a Renaissance man of the 20th century, trained from birth to be a near superhuman by his father, a scientist who wanted to create a perfect individual to serve humanity. Doc Savage's stories often involve exotic adventures as he travels the world to right wrongs and to thwart evil villains. In the comics, Doc Savage operates from the 86th floor of a New York City skyscraper, unofficially dubbed the Fortress of Solitude, later inspiration for Superman's hideout. He is accompanied by a colorful group of companions, each a top expert in their respective fields, including engineering, law, and chemistry. The series is known for its mix of high-stakes action, science fiction, and mystery. At position 17, Manifest Destiny Image Comics. Manifest Destiny is an imaginative and thrilling comic book series published by Image Comics that takes the historic Lewis and Clark expedition into uncharted territory by blending it with fantasy and horror elements. In this reimagined version of America's venture into the western frontier, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark still lead a crew of explorers, but they encounter far more than they bargained for. Instead of just mapping out the land and seeking a passage to the Pacific Ocean, Lewis and Clark are charged by President Jefferson to also uncover and defeat the hidden monstrous threats that are preventing America's westward expansion. The narrative injects a host of supernatural occurrences and creatures, including plant zombies, monstrous wildlife, and mythical beings, which the crew must battle while dealing with their own internal conflicts and the ethics of their mission. The series is lauded for its rich artwork that brings to life the creatures and landscapes the expedition encounters, as well as its creative reinterpretation of historical events. It explores themes such as manifest destiny, the nature of humanity, and the darkness that lies beyond the edges of the known world. Number 16. Rasl Cartoon Books. Rasl is a comic book series by Jeff Smith, who is well known for his work on Bone. Rasl is a stark departure from Smith's earlier work, offering a darker and more mature storyline. The series follows the story of Dr. Robert Joseph Johnson, known by his tag, Rasl, who is a former military scientist turned interdimensional art thief. After discovering the key to dimensional travel, Rasl uses this knowledge to hop between parallel universes to steal valuable artwork. However, his actions come at a cost, as this mode of travel has adverse effects on his health and psyche. Moreover, Rasl's activities have drawn the attention of his former employers and other mysterious forces who are hot on his trail, making his travels dangerous and fraught with moral ambiguity. The narrative delves into the complex ethics of technology and power, the loneliness of existence between worlds, and the corrupting influence of greed and ambition. Smith's storytelling is complemented by his stark black and white artwork, which effectively sets the gritty tone of the series. At 15, Lobster Johnson Dark Horse Comics. Lobster Johnson is a comic series published by Dark Horse Comics, set within the Hellboy universe created by Mike Mignola. The character Lobster Johnson is a vigilante who operates in the 1930s, often regarded as a pulp fiction-style hero due to the series' homage to the tone and style of that era's crime and adventure stories. Lobster Johnson, also known simply as the Lobster, is a mysterious figure who fights against gangsters, Nazis, and supernatural threats. He is known for branding his enemies with a lobster claw mark, a signature that has become a symbol of fear for the underworld and evildoers. The character exudes a noir aesthetic, complete with a fedora and a trench coat, and he employs a variety of gadgets, weapons, and his intellect to battle his foes. The series is characterized by its blend of gritty crime-fighting action and the occult elements that are a staple of the Hellboy universe. While the Lobster is not a superhuman, he is a formidable combatant and detective, and his adventures often lead him into confrontations with both human and paranormal adversaries. Number 14. Tom Strong, America's Best Comics in DC. Tom Strong is a comic book series created by writer Alan Moore and published by America's Best Comics, an imprint of DC Comics. The series is a modern tribute to the classic pulp adventure stories of the early 20th century, combining elements of science fiction, alternate history, and exotic adventurism. The titular character, Tom Strong, was raised under an intense gravity chamber on the fictional island of Bartera by his scientist parents, who believed in a life regimen of physical and intellectual education. This upbringing, combined with the mysterious properties of a local herb, gives Tom enhanced strength, intelligence, and longevity, allowing him to age very slowly. As a super scientist and adventurer, Tom Strong embodies the archetypical pulp hero, complete with a strong moral compass and a penchant for high adventure. Accompanied by a colorful cast of supporting characters, including his family and an intelligent gorilla named King Solomon, Tom Strong travels through time, explores alternate dimensions, and protects the world from a variety of threats. Ranging from mad scientists to ancient gods, the stories often explore complex themes such as colonialism, identity, and the nature of heroism, all while maintaining a sense of fun and wonder. Moore's narrative is known for its cleverness and its nostalgic nods to the adventure tales of yesteryears. Position 13. Ka-Zar, Marvel Comics. Ka-Zar is a comic book character published by Marvel Comics, often associated with the Savage Land, a hidden prehistoric land located in Antarctica. Ka-Zar, whose real name is Kevin Plunder, is known as the Lord of the Hidden Jungle. He was born the son of Lord Robert Plunder, the British nobleman who discovered the Savage Land. After his father's death, the young Kevin Plunder was left stranded in the Savage Land and was taken in by the saber-toothed tiger Zabu, an intelligent Smilodon who became his companion and protector. Raised in the jungle, Ka-Zar developed exceptional physical abilities, becoming a skilled hunter and fighter, much in the manner of Tarzan. The Savage Land is a tropical preserve filled with strange creatures, tribes, and remnants of ancient civilizations, hidden away from the rest of the world. Ka-Zar's adventures often revolve around defending the Savage Land from various threats, including external invaders who wish to exploit its resources, and internal menaces from the many dangers that lurk within its borders. Number 12. Skull Island, The Birth of Kong Legendary Comics. Skull Island, The Birth of Kong is a graphic novel by Legendary Comics that acts as both a sequel and a prequel to the film Kong, Skull Island. This adventure delves deeper into the lore of the King Kong universe, exploring the origins of the mighty Kong and the mysteries of his home, Skull Island. The story begins with a team of Monarch operatives embarking on a mission to Skull Island to uncover the truth about Kong's lineage and the history of the island's monstrous inhabitants. As the team ventures deeper into the island, they encounter the island's diverse ecosystem of prehistoric creatures and otherworldly landscapes. The narrative weaves between the present-day expedition and the past, detailing the life of Kong's parents and their battle to protect their home from both outside threats and the skull crawlers, the island's most deadly predators. Skull Island, The Birth of Kong offers readers a rich tapestry of action and exploration, blending monster thrills with a human story of survival and discovery. The graphic novel expands the mythology surrounding Kong and provides fans with a deeper understanding of the character's significance within the monsterverse. At position 11. Five Ghosts Image Comics. Five Ghosts is a comic book series written by Frank J. Barbier and illustrated by Chris Mooneyham. It follows the story of Fabian Gray, a treasure hunter and adventurer who, after an encounter with an artifact known as the Dreamstone, becomes possessed by five literary ghosts. These spirits grant Gray extraordinary abilities, each aligned with the archetypal skills of their respective literary figures. The five ghosts are the archer Robin Hood, the wizard Merlin, the detective Sherlock Holmes, the samurai Musashi, and the vampire Dracula. Each of these spirits bestows upon Gray a particular set of skills that are emblematic of their legends. Gray struggles to control these abilities while being pursued by sinister forces that seek the power of the Dreamstone for themselves. Set in the 1930s, Five Ghosts is a supernatural adventure that takes readers from haunted castles to forgotten islands, blending action, history, and the supernatural. Fabian Gray's journey is not just a physical one, but also a spiritual quest as he delves deeper into the mystery of the Dream Stone and the consequences of its power. Let's pause for a second as we are entering the final top 10. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you found the list interesting and it's adding value to your day, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow and allows me to bring more content like this to you. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Subscribing is the best way to stay updated with our latest videos. Plus, it's completely free and just a click away. Also, make sure to ring that notification bell. This way, you'll get notified every time we upload a new video, so you won't miss any of our exciting updates. Thanks for your support, and now let's dive back into our list. Now entering my top 10 best-selling comic books of the adventure genre. At number 10, The Adventures of Asterix Hatchet. The Adventures of Asterix is a beloved comic book series created by writer René Goscinny and illustrator Albert Uderzo. The series is set in 50 BC in a fictional Gaulish village, which is the last area in Gaul to remain independent from Roman rule. The inhabitants of this small village can fend off the Romans thanks to a magic potion brewed by their druid, Getafix, which grants them superhuman strength. The stories revolve around two main characters, Asterix, a clever and diminutive warrior, and his best friend Obelix, who fell into a cauldron of the magic potion as a child and has permanent super strength as a result. Together, they experience various adventures, often traveling to foreign countries on missions, participating in historical events, or dealing with the shenanigans of the inept Roman soldiers trying to conquer their village. The series is renowned for its humor, including puns, cultural references, and caricatures of historical figures. The adventures also often include themes of friendship, cunning versus brawn, and the fight for freedom against oppression. At 9, Nathan Never, Sergio Bonelli editor. Nathan Never is an Italian science fiction comic series published by Sergio Bonelli editor, created by Michele Meta, Antonio Serra, and Baby Vigna. The comics are set in a dystopian future following ecological disasters that have transformed Earth, leading to new societal structures and the rise of megacorporations. The protagonist, Nathan Never, is an agent of the Agenzia Alpha, a private organization that handles jobs too delicate or dangerous for the police. Nathan is a classic detective figure with a troubled past, which often informs his solitary demeanor and moral compass. His character is a nod to the hard-boiled detectives of classic noir fiction, yet he is also equipped to deal with the futuristic challenges presented by the series setting. The stories of Nathan Never encompass a wide range of science fiction tropes, including cybernetics, space exploration, and artificial intelligence. The series also tackles themes of political corruption, corporate power, and human rights, reflecting the complexities of its richly envisioned future. At number 8, Bone Cartoon Books. Bone is a critically acclaimed independent comic series created by Jeff Smith that combines elements of fantasy, comedy, and adventure. The story begins with three Bone cousins, the naive and lovable Phone Bone, the avaricious and conniving Phony Bone, and the friendly and easygoing Smiley Bone, who are run out of their hometown of Boneville after one of Phony Bone's scams goes wrong. The cousins find themselves in a vast, uncharted desert and, after many misadventures, end up in a lush valley filled with wonderful and terrifying creatures. The valley is also home to a variety of human characters, including the tough-as-nails Grandma Ben and the beautiful Thorn, with whom Phone Bone falls hopelessly in love. The idyllic valley is threatened by the Lord of the Locusts, an ancient, malevolent entity that seeks to escape its prison and spread across the world. The Bones, along with their new friends, become embroiled in the unfolding events that could lead to the destruction of the valley and the world beyond. The series is renowned for its high-quality storytelling, rich character development, and a unique blend of light-hearted humor with serious, epic fantasy. It's accessible to all ages, dealing with themes of heroism, friendship, and the battle between good and evil. At 7, The Phantom, various publishers, including DC and Marvel. The Phantom is a classic adventure comic strip created by Lee Falk, which first appeared in 1936. The series is centered on a costumed crime fighter operating from the fictional African country of Bengala. The title character, known as the Ghost Who Walks, has no superpowers but relies on his strength, intelligence, and fearsome reputation of being an immortal spirit to fight crime and injustice. The Phantom is the identity passed down from father to son through 21 generations, leading many to believe that the Phantom is indeed a ghost who cannot die. The current Phantom, Kit Walker, continues the legacy of fighting against pirates, evil warlords, and various other foes who threaten the peace of the jungle and the world. The comic is notable for being one of the first to feature a superhero in a skin-tight costume, a hallmark of later comic book heroes. The Phantom's costume is a purple suit with a mask and a skull ring, which leaves the imprint of a skull on those he punches as a mark of justice. Number 6. Prince Valiant Fantagraphics Books for Collections. Prince Valiant is a classic comic strip created by Hal Foster, first published in 1937. The series is a sweeping epic that follows the adventures of a knight of the Round Table, Prince Valiant of Thule. From a young age, Valiant is determined to become a knight of King Arthur's court, and the narrative chronicles his quest for knighthood, his travels across Europe, and his various heroic exploits. Valiant's journey is set in the time of King Arthur's legendary Kingdom of Camelot, blending myth and history to create a rich medieval tapestry. Throughout the series, Valiant faces challenges both in battle and personal character, deals with love and loss, and grows from a bold youth into a wise and brave knight. Accompanied by a cast of characters including his wife Aletta, Queen of the Misty Isles, and his children, Valiant's stories are filled with romance, political intrigue, and the high ideals of chivalry. The strip is renowned for its meticulously researched and beautifully rendered artwork, as well as its long, continuous storyline. Foster's work on Prince Valiant is considered one of the greatest achievements in the history of comic art. Number 5. Corto Maltese IDW Publishing for English Editions. Corto Maltese is a series of graphic novels created by the Italian comic book creator Hugo Pratt. The series is named after its protagonist, Corto Maltese, a charismatic and enigmatic sea captain. The stories are set during the early 20th century and combine real historical events with fictional adventures, creating a rich narrative tapestry that blends reality and fantasy. Corto Maltese is often depicted as a rogue with a heart of gold, a man who is more comfortable on the high seas or in exotic locales than anywhere else. He often finds himself involved in complex situations, entangled with historical figures, revolutionaries, and other adventurers. The stories are well known for their intricate plotting, philosophical undercurrents, and the extensive research Pratt did on the historical background. The character of Corto Maltese is a true anti-hero, morally ambiguous, reflective, and deeply human. He navigates through World War I, the Russian Revolution, and other significant events of the 20th century, meeting a variety of people from different cultures and walks of life. The series is as much a journey through the geopolitical and cultural landscapes of the time as it is a series of adventure tales. At 4. Jonny Quest DC Comics. Jonny Quest is a comic book series published by DC Comics, inspired by the original animated television series created by Doug Wilde in the 1960s. The comics follow the thrilling escapades of young Jonny Quest, his father Dr. Benton Quest, a leading scientist, his adopted brother Haji, a streetwise orphan from Calcutta, and their bodyguard, the rugged government agent named Race Bannon. The series chronicles the Quest family as they travel around the world, encountering extraordinary mysteries, engaging in espionage, and battling against various villains, including their archenemy, Dr. Zen. Dr. Zen is a nefarious figure who frequently attempts to thwart Dr. Quest's scientific endeavors and steal his inventions. Jonny, despite his youth, is not just a bystander in these adventures. He's an active participant, often using his wits and bravery to help resolve the situations they find themselves in. The Quest's adventures are steeped in a mix of technology, exotic locales, and the supernatural. At 3. Conan the Barbarian Marvel Comics. Conan the Barbarian is a series of comics published by Marvel Comics, based on the character created by Robert E. Howard. Conan is a formidable warrior from the fictional country of Cimmeria, known for his physical prowess, battle skills, and intellect. The stories are set in the pseudo-historical Hyborian Age, a time after the destruction of Atlantis but before the rise of the ancient civilizations we are familiar with. The comics follow Conan's life from a young barbarian to a king by his own hand. The journey is fraught with perilous adventures, including treasure hunts, battles with supernatural monsters, and encounters with powerful sorcerers. Throughout his travels, Conan fights to survive in a savage world that is as wondrous as it is deadly. Conan's character embodies the archetypal hero of sword and sorcery fiction, living by his own code of honor and strength. His stories are a blend of action, fantasy, and horror, often featuring dark gods, magical artifacts, and ancient curses. At position number 2, Indiana Jones. Various publishers, including Marvel and Dark Horse. The Indiana Jones comics, like their movie counterparts, follow the adventures of the iconic Dr. Henry Indiana Jones, Jr., a professor of archaeology with a penchant for adventure and discovery. The comics expand on Indiana Jones's escapades as he travels the world, uncovering ancient relics, battling nefarious enemies, and often coming into contact with the supernatural or the extraordinary. Throughout the various comic series published by Marvel, Dark Horse, and others, Indy's character remains true to his film portrayal. He's intelligent, daring, and resourceful, with a strong moral compass and a bit of a rebellious streak. The comics explore different time periods of Indy's life, including his youth and his career during the 1930s and 1940s, which is when most of his well-known cinematic adventures take place. Indiana Jones's stories are a thrilling blend of history, mythology, and action. They often see him competing against rival archaeologists or facing off against various adversaries like the Nazis, who seek to use ancient artifacts for their own gain. Despite the dangers, Indy's commitment to preserving historical artifacts for the benefit of the public and academia is unwavering. And at the top of our list, position number 1, Tintin Casterman. The Tintin series, created by Belgian cartoonist Herge, is one of the most popular European comics of the 20th century. The series follows the intrepid young reporter Tintin, his faithful dog Snowy, the grumpy Captain Haddock, the brilliant but absent-minded Professor Calculus, and the bumbling detectives Thompson and Thompson. As they embark on adventures around the world and even to the moon, Tintin's adventures start with Tintin in the land of the Soviets, where he uncovers the secrets of a Soviet plot. The series continues with Tintin solving mysteries, unearthing ancient artifacts, thwarting criminals, and facing off against various villains. While Tintin is a reporter, he often finds himself in the role of detective or explorer, with each story transporting him to new and exotic locations, from the depths of the ocean to the peaks of the Himalayas. The narratives are filled with suspense, humor, and intricate plot lines, characterized by their clear, expressive illustrations known as ligne claire style. Herge conducted extensive research for accuracy in his depiction of different cultures and settings, which adds to the richness of the series. And there you have it, fellow explorers of the adventurous, the top 25 adventure comics that are sure to take you on a journey beyond your wildest dreams. We've soared with sky pirates, delved into ancient ruins, and even walked with mystical creatures. Each comic is a new horizon, a new adventure waiting just for you. If any of these thrilling tales have piqued your interest, chart a course to your local comic store and claim your treasure. Remember, the true spirit of adventure lies within the pages of a good book. Now, our journey together may be at an end, but fear not. The adventure continues on this channel. If you've enjoyed this expedition, make sure to hit that like button. It's the X that marks the spot for us here at Insightful Jan. And don't let the adventure stop here. Subscribe and ring the bell to join our crew and get notifications for when we drop anchor on our next escapade. Share your favorite moments or your own comic book recommendations in the comments below. We love hearing about the adventures you're passionate about. Until next time, keep the spirit of adventure alive, and remember, there's always another story just over the horizon.